is the end of May, which means it's time to go over every single book that we read this month. We actually chose each other's TBR for May.
You did pretty good with the assignment. As for me, I've been in a huge slump, so I found myself kind of going away from that TBR and just picking up what I knew I wanted to read. But I think it was a good month for me quality-wise.
Honestly, I had a really good month quality-wise too. I think I got to every single book that was on my TBR except for one, and I really enjoyed every single book that you chose for me. May was also exciting because we hosted 2 book clubs instead of just our normal Literal Besties one. We partnered with Fable to do that, and it was actually really fun, and I don't think I would have read that book otherwise. I ended up really liking it.
Me too. So we'll just go ahead and get into it, and we'll let you know all the books that we read in May. We'll tell you which ones we think are worth it.
One of my most recent reads was Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I wanted to read this one because I know it got picked up recently for a movie adaptation, and it's just been on my TBR for a really long time. I absolutely loved this book. We're following Clara, and she is this super observant AF, which is like an artificial friend. She's basically just trying to understand feelings and help the human girl that bought her, all while learning how messy humans can be. It was so good. It was more of a literary fiction read, but I really enjoyed it, and now I can't wait to see how they're gonna adapt it. I thought this was so well done. I ended up giving it 4 stars.
A carryover that I had from April was One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This one started off a little slow to me, but I will say the end is exactly where I wanted the plot to end, and now I'm ready to pick up book number 2. I really liked the dark magic vibe that this one had, and the idea of having a monster like inside of your head and talking to you and listening to everything that you're saying is crazy and unique, and I'm really just excited to see what's going to happen in book 2. I ended up giving this one a 3.75, but I know book 2 I'm probably going to give like a 4 or 4.5.
Up next, I have a 5-star read for this year, and it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which is so funny to say because this was popular years ago and I'm barely getting around to it. But I'm so happy that you picked it for me because it really forced me to sit down and read it, and I absolutely loved it. You guys were right. It deserved all of the hype that it got while it was at its peak. I know everyone has probably already read this book. I'm one of the ones that took forever to start it, but if you didn't know, basically Addie makes a deal to live forever, but in return she's cursed to be forgotten by everyone she ever meets until about 300 years in she meets a man who remembers her. So we're just trying to unpack why he's different and why he's able to remember her. It is so good. I love that the timeline bounced back and forth from present day to when she's meeting this new guy, and then all the way back to 300 years ago when she first made the deal, and how she has to kind of adapt and find a way to live her life without anyone knowing who she is. I loved the morally gray character that she actually made the deal with and all of their interactions. Definitely worth the 5 stars that I gave it. I'm mad that it took me this long to finally read it.
Another one I read was Flirting with Disaster by Naina Kumar. This one is very cute. It's set in Houston, Texas, and I love that. But this one was a second chance romance, and basically our girlie has to go back to Houston in hopes of getting her divorce papers signed. But when she gets there, there's actually a hurricane that's happening. So she has to hunker down with her ex in their old home, and you know, things happen from there. The hurricane and the close proximity with that definitely made for a fun and unique second chance romance. Now when I read second chance romances, I kind of base if the reason why they broke up in the first place was a valid reason, or if it was like kind of miscommunication that could have been easily solved. And I kind of feel like this one was miscommunication that could have easily been solved. So for me, I gave it a 3.5 stars, but I still really did enjoy the story. Overall, it was a cute read, and I would definitely read something else from this author.
Up next, I have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, another book that I absolutely adored this past month. I'm so upset I didn't read this with you guys when the book club read it. I'm so sorry it took me so long. I do love that the Fable app let me go back to the original chats to see everyone's reactions while reading, so it kind of felt like I was reading with everyone. I loved it. I gave it a 4.5, which is a perfect book in my opinion. Basically, a man named Ethan moves back to his old neighborhood and revisits the place where his childhood best friend disappeared 30 years ago, and he starts to dig into what actually happened that night. It was so incredibly good. We do have 2 timelines, one of the actual night that it happened and then one in the present. It does take place during the summer, so it was perfect for this month. This is one of those stories where I was hooked from the beginning and I just was dying to know what was going to happen. It definitely gave small town mystery vibes because it does just take place in this one cul-de-sac and all the neighbors know each other and they've grown up together. So if you like mysteries like that, definitely pick this one up. It was so good. I'm so glad I wasn't able to predict the ending. I think one of my favorite Riley Sager books thus far.
One that we both read in May is The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I'm just so glad we finally got around to reading this one. It definitely had a huge theme of found family, which is one of my favorite tropes ever. The ending got me super emotional. I was fully crying. I had to give it 4 stars, and I'm so ready to watch the movie. It is stacked with amazing actors, and this is one of those I just can't believe it took us so long to read it, but definitely worth it.
The next one I have is If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. I just recently finished this one, I think yesterday. But in the story, we have a man facing a terminal illness, and he starts to wonder what life would be like without certain things. But then he starts to realize that even the smallest of things can mean everything. It was so sweet and wholesome. Even though it was so short, it was so impactful. There was a lot of great life lessons and like good quotes. It was very heartfelt. I think I gave it 4 stars, but it was such a good read. I think this was like a very good pick for Barnes & Noble because I wouldn't have chosen it if it wasn't like their cafe book.
Me too. So our Literal Besties Book Club book for this month was A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. This was fantastic. This actually was the book that got me out of my reading slump. I stayed up until like 3 a.m. one night just reading because I had to figure out what was going to happen. Our main girl is visiting her fiance's family on their secluded estate, and some weird dark childhood memories start coming back to her. So we're just kind of uncovering everything that happened with that. I will say I think the end for me kind of got a little bit confusing because they kept kind of changing what the big reveal was, but it was still such a gripping read. I'm so happy that this was my first Kate Alice Marshall book, and I have a few more, so I can't wait to read them. I think I gave this a 4 or a 4.5, I can't remember, but very good.
I ended up giving it a 4. I did love it as much as I've loved her other books. I agree that the ending got a little bit crazy, but I thought that was entertaining because I couldn't predict exactly what was going to happen. We know in the book club though, the ratings were kind of mixed. I really enjoyed this one though.
Me too. This is one of my favorite book club books that we've had in a while.
This was our book club book for Literal Besties, and then the book club that we hosted with Fable, we read Heartwood by Amity Gage, and that one was really good as well. Heartwood is about a woman who goes missing on the trail while she's hiking the Appalachian Mountain, and the story follows both her fight to survive and the people trying to find her. It was so good. I know you don't always love mysteries where we're in the point of view of like a detective or a sheriff. I love books like that though.
I was hoping we were going to get more of the missing woman's point of view. We did get a lot of it, but it was mixed a lot with the people trying to find her as well. But I just wanted a little bit more from her point of view as well.
This was another book where I was glued to the page the whole time. I actually read it in one sitting. I didn't plan on doing that. And I was so caught up in the search that I desperately wanted to know what happened. So I really enjoyed this one. I'm glad we were able to partner with Fable. I ended up giving this one 4 stars.
So the last book that I read in May was The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This was a random book for me to read because we ended up going to Half Price Books and I ended up finding this there for $3. And it was just one of those things where I automatically knew I wanted to read this. And as sad as it is, that hardly ever happens to us. And normally we'll sit on our TBR shelf for a little while, but I just knew I had to pick this up right away. I remember I watched the movie a long time ago when I was a kid, and I remember really enjoying it. So the book was fantastic. The plot is amazing. I'm sure you guys have already read the book or have seen the movie. So in this world, there are like these little aliens, and they can basically take over a human body and become the new host of the body, which is insane. But there was so much more to it as well, like the world building of this and the found family of it and the romance. It was all very good. I ended up giving this one a 4.5 stars, and I cannot wait to rewatch the movie. I hope you're gonna read it soon so that we can watch a movie together as well.
I just wanted to see if you liked it.
I
So
really
now
did.
I know I should move it up on my TBR. So the last book I have is one that I'm still currently in the middle of, but I'm hoping to finish by the end of this month, and it is Running with Scissors by Augustin Burroughs. This is his memoir, and it's absolutely insane. Like, I don't think I knew what I was getting myself into, but I did not realize he was so young. I think he's at the age of 13, and just going through the most insane things you could possibly imagine. I think at the age of 12, his mother basically gave him up to be raised by this unorthodox psychiatrist. So he's living with this doctor's family of like 12 people. It's huge. It's crazy. I have no idea where this is gonna go, but it's very sad because at this time too, they treated 13-year-olds like they're adults. So he's decided like, oh, I don't really want to go to school anymore. And they're like, okay, like you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And it's crazy. It's crazy, but I do want to see where this story goes. It's been a while since I've read a memoir though, so I'm glad that I picked this one up.
So a pretty successful reading month. I'm excited to get into these warm summer months now because that means we're going to be reading more summer books.
If you haven't already, make sure to join our Literal Besties book club. We don't know exactly what we're going to do for next month. We're either going to do a poll, or we kind of want to read that new Frederick Backman book, My Friends. We've heard good things about it, and I think it takes place during the summer. So we're going to ask you guys on Fable if that's something you'd be interested in. But regardless, if you're not already a member, make sure to join. The link is in the description. It's free. Also, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's pretty much it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next time.
I got this necklace today from a estate sale across the street.
Oh!
What?
Spider! I'm scared.
Oh no, kill it.
No, I'm leaving it.
It's okay.
Don't sass the spider, they say.
It's there to protect me.
Mic is on.
Mic check.
Mic check. Mike! I keep watching Stranger Things and that's all Elle says. Mike! Mike! It's like so often.
Half the script is Mike.
Yes!
It's her saying Mike.
I'm like, oh my god, every season she's looking for Mike. Okay, it's the end of May, so it's time to go over every single book that we read this month. Your hair looks good.
Thank you, I brushed it.
It's a cute color.